Hello, Kurumjiri, and welcome to SKTV News. You are watching Primetime English News with me, JESSY. Now, as usual, giving you the headlines first. Air India flight to London crashes near Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport this afternoon. 242 passengers, including one cabin crew girl from Manipur, killed. Widespread sit-in protests erupt over arrest of Arambay Tenggol members. Protesters demand release of arrested members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets BJP MLAs and MPs in Delhi but skips meeting MLAs on crisis, asserts Congress leader J. Ram Ramesh. And a person in rehabilitation center found hanging inside toilet dies despite immediate rescue efforts. Now giving you the news in detail. In a tragic incident, an Air India plane carrying 242 passengers has crashed after takeoff in Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport. As per an Air India statement, the flight was taken off from Ahmedabad to Gatwick, London at the time of the crash. Among the 242 passengers, 169 are Indian nationals, 53 are British nationals, 1 Canadian national and 7 Portuguese nationals. As per Directorate General of Civil Aviation (DGCA), the aircraft was under the command of Captain Sumit Subharwal with First Officer Clive Kunda. A cabin crew from Manipur was in the ill-fated flight that crashed today. The cabin crew is identified as Ngantoy Sharma Kongbrai Latpam, aged 21, daughter of K. Nandesh Kumar Sharma and K. Mala of Thaupal Awang Laikai. She has been working with Air India for the last 2 years. She last spoke with her family members at around 9 a.m. in the morning. Meanwhile, family members of the cabin crew expressed shock after hearing the news of the crash. As per ATC, the flight gave a mayday call to ATC, but thereafter, no response was given by the aircraft to the calls made by ATC. Aircraft immediately after departure from runway 23 fell on the ground outside the airport perimeter. Heavy black smoke was seen coming from the accident site. And former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani is also suspected to be on board the Air India plane to London. The Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft departed from Ahmedabad at 1:38 p.m. this afternoon and crashed shortly after it took off. Rescue and relief operations are underway at the site of the Air India plane crash, and so far the total number of casualties could not be confirmed. However, several casualties are feared in the crash. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reportedly spoken to both Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu and Home Minister Amit Shah and asked them to go to Ahmedabad and ensure all possible assistance is provided to the affected persons. Trong Laubia Wangmayrapai Bilup has voiced strong resentment over the failure of the president's rule government in Manipur and central government in handling the ongoing crisis in the state. Speaking on the sideline of a sit-in protest at Trong Laubia Awang Laikai Bazaar Shed, Trong Laubia Wangmayrapai Bilup Secretary Kongkam Kunjesori demanded the central government to clarify whether it really considers Manipur as part of India and ought to protect the indigenous populations in the state. Further denouncing the government's crackdown against the members of Arambay Tenggol, Kunjesori demanded the unconditional release of the arrested members of the organization. She also urged the state MLAs to form a popular government to resolve the ongoing crisis at the earliest.
प्रजासिंगिदमक्ता मथवाई खुबाक्ता हापतना होटनरिबा असिगुम्बा लानफमसिंगसिदा ngasi leiriba PR government asina makhoi bu phajanbiba prajasing amu awaba pibiba leitabhum khanghandaba asigumba kaya asina aikhoi prajada awaba kaya ama mayoknare aduna ngasi paliba central government na Manipur asibu central government gi makhada leiba Bharat Sarkar gi 피바농다 레이버 오이라가디 아투바 마tamda 토이바 이랑 아시 로신비로 아두가 까리군바 피바농 아시다 아이코이세 탐비로이다보 오이라가디 아이코이부 똥아나 레이한비게 하이라가디 마두기 나카이 생바 아마 ngasi Manipurgi prajasinda khanghanbiu
Kwa Kaitel apun banupilup, Ghari apun banupilup and Hiang Thang Naral Konjil Mayrapai jointly staged a sit-in protest today at Kwa Kaitel Akam Laikai Community Hall against the deliberate policy by the central and the state governments to divert public attention from the ongoing conflict. Speaking to media, President of Ghari Makha Laikai Mayrapai Huirem Saroja condemned the authority for allegedly diverting public attention from the main issue by arresting Arambay Tengol members. She asserted that the youths took up arms to safeguard the state from Kuki militants, and she demanded the authority to arrest the women folk instead of arresting Arambay Tengol, who had even surrendered their arms and have been consistently putting its effort in helping the society. Furthermore, Saroja accused the authority of bringing up different issues to divert public attention from the main issue. She also alleged that the authority failed to apprehend Kuki militants involved in various criminal activities during the conflict. Saroja further reiterated the commitment of the state's women folk to stand for the youths.
Kanglada like Congress Pasinata way, Gana Sassing the Kaishu Aram Masi came to Togre. Don't they have to quite Kangeva? Ado, could I each hell a Saliba Sassing to Boo, lining but Saliba to Boo, Ipuruk and never Saliba to Nasiti, Lalo, when he fly by have the Pabi by the a quite imagine the away, Madon Yabasuma, Ihoa Magidam, Ihoa, and Sandaba, Shuleta, Maran, so later, Mahase, Ishuma Manipur, Mutaki Magidamata, Ishu the Namda Ridamata, Nasi, Imalebaki. Madan Sulay later, Isase, Panama, Mayama Pansalaga, Mayam Pansalaga City, Isada, Akwagi Mayamti, a Soybase, Isada and Sanbani, Mase, Akwagi Puru, Akwagi, Akwagi, Manipur Mutakiba, Masi Hose, Namdana, Nabana, Isasa, Maran Chiba, have a say, Masim is up to rise again. Is asking the Maran Chiba Yaro, is Akima, when Mama, when the Lepani, Akwagi, can never is asking around by Asida, around we, Akwagi, the climb of Bible later, although among the Papa, among the whole of Maroy, we look part of that way, Hote, some man and a whole revolution.
Sogolban Lokam Leirak Mayrapai also staged a sit-in at Lokam Leirak Community Hall today against the government for arresting Arambay Tengol members. The protesters asserted that Arambay Tengol members are not criminals and that they took up arms to safeguard the state from Kuki militants. They also said that the real criminal is the state government as it failed to resolve the conflict and safeguard its citizens and properties. Speaking to media, Secretary of Sogolban Lokam Leirak Mayrapai Laisham Jibalata expressed strong opposition against the government for its attempt to arrest Arambay Tengol members. She also reiterated the state women's folk's commitment to continue its protest until the release of Asem Kanan. The protesters raised various slogans during the protest.
Makoina song thoga honariba sida habiba pundiba tobiba se akoi yamna nungaijade makoina awaba tabada akoi Mayrapai imai bian singla loina makoi gi sabuk yajagani makoi gi awaba da akoina makoi gi damakta ngakjagani haina akoi punamak song thoga ngasi gi dharna se punja lana sida toiba isa singbu criminal oina lauragadi akoi su loina phabiro akoi su lan sida loina yawi criminal gi government ni moina failure oibadagini kanan thadok pau ekoi khongjang andok loi kanan jo tek takai na thadok piu haibase Mayrapai singa pai thijari
Singjamai Waikom Laikai Mayrapai also staged a sit-in today at its locality against the authority for arresting Arambay Tengol members. Speaking to media, Secretary of the Mayrapai Laisham Chauba questioned the authorities' reason for arresting prominent Arambay Tengol member Asem Kanan on June 7. She demanded the unconditional release of Kanan and also reiterated the women folk's commitment to continue its protest until the release of Kanan. The protesters raised various slogans and held placards during the protest.
ꯑꯊꯨꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯐꯥꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯆꯥ ꯀꯅꯟꯕꯨꯁꯨ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯄꯤꯌꯨ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯃꯥ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯁꯨ ꯐꯥꯕꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯖꯪ ꯑꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯐꯝꯃꯤꯕ ꯙꯔꯅꯥ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯐꯝꯖꯔꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯏꯆꯥꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯊꯥꯗꯣꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯑꯀꯟꯕ ꯈꯣꯡꯖꯪ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯃ leptana changchinjakini.
Women folk today staged sit-ins in various locations at Singjamay area, demanding the immediate release of the arrested Arambay Tengo members. The sit-in protests were organized by Singjamay Jingamaka Sana Kongnang Maya Paibi, Saiwon, Singjamay Jingamaka Meshnam Laikai Apun Maya Paibi, Jingamaka Ning Thojam Laikai, Yang Lem Laikai, Ibuthaw Luwang Pokpa Nupi Lup, and SWC Apun Maya Paibi in their localities. Speaking on a sideline of a sit-in protest organized at Singjamay Jingamaka Meshnam Laikai, spokesperson of Singjamay Jingamaka Meshnam Laikai Apun Maya Paibi, RK Gita, highlighted the role taken by Arambay Tengol in defending the state from Kuki aggression since the onset of the ongoing crisis on May 3, 2023. Further denouncing the crackdown against Arambay Tengol members by security forces and central government agencies, she demanded the unconditional release of the arrested members of Arambay Tengol at the earliest.
India Sakana to the Secretary, Moino, the Kimin, India Saka with the double, Manipur, about Ishashin to Okabanati, Adon Ishashin to the Lanchi, my own Naraga, and Manipur, the India woman, Manipur can get a total Ishashin never. I said, I quake India Saka, Manipur Sakana, part of the people over there. Mama will be a queen at the Yadi, Aduna, Bakona Sangi Bakong Panamak, Mama goes to more part of the Mama could Papiro Habase, Aduin Matakway, Nanasi, Pamzabani, Lavak, the Mara Legenda Vicha, Isupuna Low in a Matomaka Wale, Moy Adukimatic. One of the Arambay Sing, Chasing him when a color of power, say, Machine White, forgive Pabi and Moon when I could Pamzabani.
Uru Parapti, Apun Bamara Pabilup and Udako took out a public rally today protesting against the arrest of Asem Kanan by CBI on June 7. The rally started from Arapti Maya Laikai Kangjibung ground and passed through Lilong Bridge and Yaibi Bridge. Speaking on a sideline, chairperson of Urup Arapti Apun Bamara Pabilup, Asem Memtoy, condemned the arrest of Arambay Tengol's Commander-in-Chief Security. She asserted that Arambay Tengol have been safeguarding the people and villages since the start of violent conflict in May 2023, as government failed to do its duty of protecting the civilians. While demanding immediate release of Asem Kanan, the Marapaibi leader also warned of intensifying the agitation if their demand is not fulfilled.
Akoigi Asiangi Kanan, Arambay Tengogi, Masip Hazen Gibase, Akoi Sarkagi Magaida, Atumatam the Hadoki, Kunga Pamasung, Arambay Tengon, Pabiganu, Isa Sinjina, Mama Lebak Manipur Gidamakta, Song Torotana, Tawa in the Kubakta Hapaga, Mama Lebak and Dabayati, Hina Toy Isa Singbu, Kulai or in a season Naraga, Haujina Wanzalaga, Isa Sing the Paba Punbato Habase, Akoi Maite Prazama, Wina Mama Moina, Yaning de Habase. Akoi Sarkagi Magaida Pogdokari, Loina, Patana Pundana, some Taubi, Legati, Mama Equise Maru in a Pabio, Mama Equina, Isas in Jibutona, Hapaga, Punna Minabati, Hibase, Sarkagi Magaida, Equisauna Pong Hizari.
Women folk from 8 villages in Bishnupur district have come out strongly against the failure to form popular government in the state. The women folk of Ngai Kong Kuno, Kaino, Oinam, Irengbam, Yumnam Kuno, Laimaram, Haino Bok, and Warojing jointly staged a sit-in at Oinam Bazaar today in protest against the arrest of Arambay Tengol members. During the protest, the women folk categorically stated that political party which has failed to form a popular government despite having required numbers of MLAs deserve to cease its existence on moral ground. Placards which denounced crackdown against Arambay Tengol members and lackadaisical attitude of state legislators towards forming popular government were displayed during the protest. Poiro Konjin Women's Welfare Association and all Poiro Konjin United Club organizations staged a sit-in protest against the arrest of Arambay Tengol leader Asem Kanan. Speaking on the sideline of the protest, Finance Secretary of Poiro Konjin Women's Welfare Association, Kontaujam Ongbi Sanayay, demanded immediate release of Asem Kanan without any condition. She also expressed dissatisfaction over MLAs who have failed to form popular government in the state.
Senior leader oiriba Asem Kanan criminal ni haidana lauthopa ase maram sadi maraibang maramdam marsagi mazati bu chawkhonaba honaba asida honaba mi bu criminal ni haibase angakpa makhangi lo ni India gi ko asigumba lo asigu mayokta aikhoigi porokhongjin da laiba maira paibi ima iben sing ne yaningdaba phongtoktuna ngasigi wakat mi pham ase phamjabani.
Congress leader Jairam Ramesh slammed Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the central government for its inability to resolve the ongoing 2-year-long conflict of Manipur. In a post on X, the Congress leader criticized Prime Minister Modi for meeting BJP MLAs and MPs of Delhi while giving no appointment to BJP MLAs of Manipur. It may be mentioned that Jairam Ramesh has consistently called out the central government over its failure to resolve the conflict. In an unfortunate incident, a 21-year-old inmate died under mysterious circumstances after he was allegedly found hanging inside a de-addiction cum rehabilitation center named Anoba Itinfam, located at Naral Konjil Makaleka in Imphal West District yesterday. The deceased person is identified as Juan Acho alias Jackson, son of late as Inao of Taubal Haukama Manglaikai. While expressing suspicion of foul play behind the incident, the deceased family claimed that they found Jackson as a dead body when they visited to see him at Island Hospital located at Kanchipur after the authorities concerned informed them about the incident. The family added that the hospital reported that Jackson was brought to the hospital at around 1:15 yesterday in connection with a hanging case. Continuing that, they found no reasonable ground for Jackson committing suicide by hanging himself from the bar of a toilet inside the rehabilitation center. When they visited the site, Jackson's family demanded justice for the incident. The dead body of Jackson was deposited at RIMS mortuary and a case has been registered at Wangoi police station in this connection. Now, Arambay Tengol has clarified that it has no intention of storming governor's residence or government offices in protest against the arrest of its prominent member, Asem Kanan. The organization stated it will pursue only democratic forms of protest. In a press release, the organization announced that it has called off the 10-day general strike in order to begin staging sit-ins and other similar forms of protest. It may be mentioned that the 10-day general strike was called off after the third day. Face masks to be made compulsory for individuals exhibiting flu-like symptoms and their attendance within the premises of Regional Institute of Medical Sciences. The preventive measure is being implemented in response to the recent spike in COVID-19 cases across the country and a confirmed positive case reported in Manipur. RIMS also encouraged all patients and visitors, regardless of symptoms, to minimize potential transmission. RIMS also advised the public to follow essential precautionary measures to help curb the spread of infection. The cleanup work at flood-ravaged Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Medical Sciences, JENIMS, has been completed with a week-long effort from personnel of Manipur Fire Service. The hospital had been rendered non-operational after floodwater inundated the hospital compound recently. Personnel of Manipur Fire Service have been put on war footing to clean the sludge and water that were accumulated after the flooding. And with the completion of the cleanup work, JENIMS will soon begin its normal operation. All Naga Students Association Manipur, ANSAM, has vowed to support the movement against the scrap of Free Movement Regime (FMR) and Indo-Myanmar border fencing in the Naga inhabited areas. In a press release, Ansam decried that the scrapping of FMR and Indo-Myanmar border fencing along the Naga inhabited areas has greatly affected the history, identity, customs, traditional rights, and the ancestral lands of Naga people, adding that it will never support the center's move. Meanwhile, the students' organization has also announced to extend full support to the non-cooperation movement declared by Senapati District Students Association against the SP and additional SP Law and Order of Senapati District for their alleged unprofessional conduct and mishandling of a peaceful democratic agitation. Kuki Inpi Manipur, Kim, has condemned the National Investigation Agency NIA for calling its federating units Kuki Inpi Tengnopal as an insurgent group in a press note that was released in connection with the arrest of 3 individuals in connection with attack IRB post in More. In a press note, Secretary of Information and Publicity Kim Jang-Haun-Lung Haokip described the allegation as baseless, inflammatory, and deeply irresponsible, warning that such mischaracterization could gravely impact peace and community relations in Manipur. It further maintained that the branding of Kuki Inpi Tengnopal as an insurgent group reflects grave ignorance, institutional irresponsibility, and a dangerous distortion of the truth. Kim has demanded that the NIA immediately retract the allegation, issue a formal clarification, and initiate respectful dialogue with indigenous institutions. The organization also warned that continued insensitivity and institutional misrepresentation could compel the community to seek all democratic avenues to defend their identity and future. Moving on, Center for Development Initiatives, CDI, Imphal observed World Day Against Child Labor on the theme, "Progress is clear, but there's more to do. Let's speed up efforts" at Lila Singh Kongnangkong High School, Thangmaiben, Imphal today. The program was attended by 30 students and it aimed to spread awareness about child's education and to end child labor. Students also held placards that read, "End child labor, stop child labor, anti-child labor day, I am against child labor, let's act on our commitment to end child labor, World Day Against Child Labor." Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity, Kokomi Farmers Wing, organized a one-day conference on the topic Uncultivated Affected Areas in Manipur at Manipur Press Club today. It saw the presence of Kokomi Farmers Wing Convener A.B. Ilangbam, Co-Convener K. Thoiba, L. Kiran, L. Sham, and N. Irabot. Addressing at the event, A.B. Ilangbam expressed concern over the inability of state farmers to cultivate their lands, warning that this could result in a potential shortage of crops in the future. He emphasized that the relevant authority should take up necessary security measures to ensure safe farming. A.B. Ilangbam has urged the government to provide compensation to farmers who were unable to cultivate their land last year, in accordance with the assurances previously given by the authorities.
Low Pananaba, Aduga Mahimarong Tananaba, very initiative Lokachiki, Haidana, Tanner Tinaraga Lakoni, Adu Hunter 2025 Kipoina, Hokiba, Tantarukta, Kogi Secretary, South Block, high officials in Jiga, Ekogi Lumi organization in Jiga, Paminagi. Paminaban Numitu Dazo, Ekoi, see Manipuri affected Beles, Singjida, very initiative, security, very initiative Lokachige. Aduga decision to mine consult lahun jige haibigi matang de jo ko yang kumna khanaki madugi follow up oina madugi makha tabo oina akoi district level da monitoring committee semaga mai magi district da akoi shoiba mafam jing do maduda akoi monitoring tawdana hantakti phajana low pan ba yanaba mahimarong thaba yanaba honagani haiba adugi decision amakoi lominai masigi thabok oina akoi chatharakani haiba wafam jijo akoi gi medagi thongda thanjage.
Laren Kabi Youth Dramatic Union celebrated its 58th Foundation Day at Sakto Hall, Laren Kabi today. During the celebration, young artists showcased their talents, including traditional songs and dances. Senior artists of the union were also presented with gifts as tribute as part of the celebration. Now moving on to national news. The Narendra Modi-led central government is planning to implement a 33% reservation for women in the Lok Sabha beginning with the 2029 general elections. In a news report that is published at India Today, the move follows the passage of the Nari Shakti Vandan Act, a constitutional amendment bill designed to increase women's representation in national politics. The women's reservation provisions will come into effect only after a fresh delimitation of parliamentary constituencies. Currently, there is a statutory freeze on delimitation until 2026, and for any delimitation to proceed thereafter, a constitutional amendment will be necessary, requiring approval by both houses of parliament. According to the report, necessary preparations are underway to ensure that the delimitation exercise can be initiated once the freeze is lifted. A delimitation commission will be constituted, and it is expected to visit states, collect representations, and prepare a report before recommending any changes. The 15th and last census in India was conducted in 2011 and was rescheduled from 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the limitation has been held in India 4 times, within 1952, 1963, 1973 and 2002. Now in sports news, All Manipur Football Association Imphal has announced that the second Premier League 2025-26, which was temporarily suspended due to poor condition of Lamlong Thongkong artificial turf ground, will resume on June 15. In a press release, the association informed that FC Rengdai None and Angtha FC will face each other in the first match, while Athletic Brothers Association Ketrigao and Southern Sporting Union Singjamay will face each other in the second match. The league was sponsored by Sikh Babu Macha Memorial Trust, and it was participated by 18 different teams. Now the weather report. According to ICR Regional Center, Lamphilpat's maximum temperature was recorded at 33.6 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 21.5 degrees Celsius. The maximum relative humidity was measured to be 84% in the morning and 43% in the evening. Now before we end, let's take a quick look at the headlines once again. Air India flight to London crashes near Gujarat's Ahmedabad airport this afternoon. 242 passengers, including one cabin crew girl from Manipur, feared killed. Widespread sit-in protests erupts of arrest of Arambai Tengol members. Protesters demand release of arrested members. Prime Minister Modi meets BJP MLAs and MPs in Delhi but skips meeting MLAs on crisis, asserts Congress leader J. Ram Ramesh. And a person in rehabilitation center found hanging inside toilet dies despite immediate rescue efforts. And that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching SKTV News and keep watching for more news updates.